Thank you, Lord, for another day. Because I know a lot of family and friends didn't make it. So Lord, after you showed me much faithfulness, what could be worse than ungratefulness? And if I must fail, a little pain along the way, before I complain, I gotta give praise. I still have God and I still got bread. Before I complain, I gotta give thanks and praise in Jesus' name, cause it could have been much worse.
All right. A pleasant good night to everybody.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Crucial Conversations is back, third Friday. Sorry about missing last month. So we are back with another conversation about connecting, keeping it righteous. And today we're going to have a bit of a shorter conversation, so to speak.
Yeah.
But we do hope that it is a blessing to you. All right. If you're on the inside, don't be shy. You can say hello.
Yeah.
You could share it. You could, do whatever. So, guys, I'm Kelly. This is
Don Ray. Yeah. Crucial Conversations. We dive into all kind of stuff, targeting holistical development of the Christian life and challenging those who do not know Christ to experience Christ, taste and see the goodness of God. Yeah. Just want to give a shout out to all our listeners that, constantly there, saying, hey, we listen to you here and there. It's quite encouraging. Yeah. Those who join us, a lot of persons seem to join us on YouTube and Facebook. So just want to shout out to you. Yeah. Crucial Conversations with the Wilkinsons. We're looking to have a conversation today that I think it would be relevant to everyone. You want to introduce it?
So what's interesting about this conversation is that we're going to be having a conversation kind of live. We haven't really had talked about it to each other before this, because we want this to be as authentic as possible.
Yeah.
And it may put us a little bit on the spot. Hopefully, we don't end up fighting inside here.
No fighting.
We ain't gonna fight.
Hey.
We ain't gonna fight. We will communicate with wisdom.
Where that fighting thing come from?
I don't know.
I rebuke that spirit.
All right. So, we're going to be talking today about communicating your needs. How do you communicate your needs in a way that your partner can respond to, in a way that fills your love tank? Yeah. When I talk about love tank, your love tank, what am I talking about? In relationships, the analogy of the love tank is really capturing that idea of when a person feels loved by the person in their life. That you could be your husband, it could be your wife. If you're not married, you may have platonic friendships, or even your relationship with your parents or so can fill that love tank. And that depends on how often this person responds to you in a way that speaks your language. Yeah. So I want to know, right, what are some of the ways that you communicate your needs, and what are some of the ways that I might miss it, and what are some of the ways, I guess I will answer that to you
as well. Yeah, I just wanted our listeners to understand this as well before I go into answering the question. Right, that as you go through life takes from your tank, your love tank. I mean, sometimes your love tank get withdrawals from your interactions during the day with so much people on your work, in life. People you meet on the streets. It's just like a matter of you expressing the grace at times forgiveness for offense and all these kind of stuff, it all withdraws from that tank. And oftentimes, right, how is this withdrawal replenished, right? Many times it's through your closer relationships, your family, your spouse, your loved ones. And the reason why they call them loved ones, because those loved ones tend to make deposits. But they also take out too, but they tend to make deposits, and these are your loved ones. Yeah. And also, I mean, the greatest sustainer of this love tank for the believer, and note I say for the believer, is the one who is love, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Who, even when the people closest to you are not there, right? They keep making withdrawals and not deposits, right? The one who is love, right, is like that spring that flows from within the tank, yeah, and gives you the ability to practice the fruit of the Spirit, like long suffering, and all of this kind of stuff that helps you, be gracious, be loving, be caring to the persons around you, even if they keep taking. True. Right? So I just wanted to lay that kind of platform, right? So your question, right, refers to how do I communicate it? How do I communicate
your needs in a way that how do you communicate your needs as a man, per se, and as you, I guess?
Right.
And in what ways does it feel like, those needs aren't responded to or attended to? I guess I should preface the conversation too with like from a relationship perspective. When we do like relationship work, we have a concept that we call bids for connection.
Okay.
Right? And it's a Gottman concept, right? And the bids for connection speaks to the little things that you do, whether verbally or non-verbally, that communicates to the person around you that you need their attention, that you're making a bid for them to turn towards you and respond.
Yeah.
And you can either turn towards somebody's bid, you can turn away from it, or you can turn against it, right? And notice you said verbal and non-verbal, and there's a key word there being bids, because a bid is something that is like a little more cautious than a question.
Okay.
Right? So you may have the difference between a bid for connection and just like asking for something.
Yeah.
There's a slight difference, because you could ask, I could say, can you reach the remote for me? Or can you pour me a glass of water while they pour in your glass of water? That's a question, but there's sometimes we ask questions, but it's really we're asking for the person to lean in so that we can connect. And sometimes it can be without words.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets tricky. And the reason why it's a bid is because it's a level of vulnerability that you're expressing in that moment that you're hoping that the person would notice and respond to.
Yeah.
So
many times I would say the communication of these bids, right, may most times in conversation. I might be describing an event or how my day was, right? Some of the challenges that I was faced with, some of the things that I'm working through in my mind and stuff. And oftentimes it may be a bid for your input, right?
Okay.
And to show that, hey, I care about you. I'm here to listen. Oftentimes stuff, so you may wonder like, well, what I may be looking for, right? Most times it would mean like I would look for your attention in that. Even if that favorite show showing right now, could pause it to hear what is going on, and this shows value for me. It shows that that you are willing to hear, and with love, because speaking about love tank, with love always carries a level of sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right? For God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten son, right, to die for us. Right? It carries that. So you want to know if somebody love you, they would make sacrifices. They would prefer, right, put another person before themselves.
Right.
Right? And oftentimes is these kind of things, the tendency might be with a conversation of a bid, right? You might be scrolling your phone and the next dopamine hit there is right there, just flip,
Yeah.
But resting on your phone for a bit to hear persons. All of this is these kind of deposits, and then so that's like, you speak. You mentioned both verbal and non-verbal, right? Non-verbal. So yeah, I've learned too that sometimes with non-verbal things it might be gestures, like doing something, bringing something that the person likes, right? Shows that, hey, I thought about you, I care about you, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yes. Or doing something that would perhaps ease off some of the stress, or some of the workload for that person that is within reach, So all that kind of stuff is bids and how it I trust I'm asking your question.
Yeah. From what I'm hearing from you is, for you, your bids tend to be more verbal.
Yeah.
In that you would see what you want. Yeah. And I think with what you shared in terms of when you come home and you have things you wanna talk about, you wanna process, I think we do that well. I've come to expect that. Yeah,
after 7 years, you had to realize that.
So I think that works. I'm glad you mentioned the phone, because I think this is a struggle that a lot of persons have now with that phone. Yeah. And it has become so embedded into our minds that sometimes we're doing it and we don't even recognize it.
Yeah.
And that could cause a bid to not be responded to or even noticed.
Or even recognized,
Yeah. So you can find yourself turning away from somebody's bids for a connection and you don't even know. And next day or two, they're grumpy, they're grouchy, and you're like, they're irritable, and you're just like, well, what's going on? But you might have missed something because of that device. And the thing about bids for connection is an opportunity for you and the person that's this important person in your life to deepen and add some more deposits into that tank. But it does provide a bit of a slower build in terms of the reward system in your brain, as opposed to when you're scrolling and your brain is constantly getting that stimulation versus a nice slow conversation with somebody that you love. So one of the questions that came to me like while you were talking there is, like, how important do you find like love language plays into filling that tank? Because I think we would have had a conversation sometime past, and I think I would have expressed to you. Yeah. I mean on here, but I mean like in between us, right? A little time back, and I kind of mentioned to you, like, I find my love tank kind of empty, or low, kind of low, and you were kind of like, well, how, because like you're doing all the other things, but like how important does like a person's love language play into
that? Yeah.
Into like meeting the bid for connection, recognizing the bid for connection, and making the deposits that matter.
Yeah, well, if you listen to the term, right, language, love language, it's like, okay, you think about language, you think about your mother tongue, right, which is English for us in Grenada, right, and hey, not that you might not know some Spanish. You learn Spanish in school, or you learn in Spanish in Duolingo or whatever, right? So you may pick up a few things, but it's not your mother tongue. It's not your language, right?
Yeah.
So communication tends to have these blockers if it's not spoken in a language that is understood by both parties.
Yeah.
Right? And the love tank would be full if the connection is moved from the source or right to the tank.
Got you.
Right? I see that and I think about recently in the dry season when we didn't have water and I called the water truck. Right? They had to connect the pump from the water truck that has a bigger tank into a smaller tank. It's like if they didn't put the hose from the pump that pumping from the big tank into the small tank, somewhere along that connection there is broken, then the small tank won't fill up.
Got you.
Yeah. So communication out in the right language is important to get the right effect. Right? It's not that you won't get some water going in if it reaching there, but if it's not in the right language, then you get these hindrances. So the whole speaking the person's language, right, you get the best results. Yeah. Because somebody might not even notice that you're making a deposit.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're not speaking their language.
You will think you're depositing.
Yeah. They might not even see it because you're not speaking their language. It might just look like, well, you're just doing what you're supposed to do. Right? It's nothing special to me because you're not speaking my language. Yeah.
We have a comment here, a question. Overwork is one of the biggest obstacles to understanding the language. True. That's a good one.
When you read that, what comes to your mind?
The reality of life. Sometimes to give out and respond to connection requires a level of attentiveness, alertness, presence. Yeah. And if you're at a place in your life where you're overworked, you're tired, you're worn out, I don't think you even have the capacity to pour out. Because you talked about that analogy with the tank, the bigger tank pouring into the smaller tank. But if that bigger tank is empty, or if there are kinks in the pipeline, right, you're not going to be able to give what that person needs at that point in time. So how then do we navigate that in relationships? So understanding that there are going to be times when the person might not be able to pour in as you would like.
And it's interesting that this person really comment on that, right? Hope FM. one of the person, the management, right? It's interesting because this at our conversation, that was really going on. Like I was doing so much, and I was coming. I was stepping into our relationship spent. Right. By the time I reach home and in that kind of interaction, I'm tired from the day because I was doing like way too much, right? In a day, trying to cover so much bases, and it just don't have the capacity to pour in more, But the key to that is really recognizing where you are. Because sometimes you're just going about checking the list, and getting things done, being there for that meeting, being there for those people, being there to get this project done, or to get that project done, or to overcome this hurdle or that hurdle, or solve so much other people problems that you're just not even seeing those closest to you the problems, because you're just at a pace looking out. So to really I think a big part of even for me, what I recognized I had to do was that, hey, see how important our relationship is, and recognize that, and see that as the priority,
Yeah.
right? In terms of importance, right? And with that, I was able to refocus a
Yeah.
lot more to pour into your love tank,
Yeah.
right? And then be more deliberate about pouring into your love tank. This, despite of all these other things that still need to get done, right? But it's always easier to get other things done when the people close to you have a full love tank, because they tend to respond in kind. So they may even help you where they can with what you need to do. So the whole thing becomes lighter, right? Because then you don't have to deal with their lack of feeling love and being loved and all of that, along with everything else they have to do.
Yeah. And even with that, at that point too,
Yeah.
for the other person, and this is important, don't think that just because we're talking about filling love tanks and so that just because your tank is empty, it means that it's okay for you to be snappy and to be mean and demanding and all of that. We talk a lot about communication here and how important it is to keep it righteous in the way you interact and relate to each other to maintain that healthy level of connection. And sometimes you might recognize that, hey, I'm feeling a little low because, hey, I can recognize that, hey, I'm not getting the attention or the affection that I need at this point. And to be able to be in control of yourself to the point where you're able to communicate that in a way that is safe and kind and understanding, because you're not going to be blind to the fact. Because I'm hoping that this is supposed to be a reciprocated situation process. So you should be paying attention to the other person as well, to be able to meet their needs and speak their language, right? So as much as you're talking about how much you need, you should be able to communicate that in a way that is understanding. So you should be able to say, hey, well, I know you've been working hard, right? I recognize that you have got all of this stuff on your plate and all of that, however, this is where I'm at right now, and I think it's important for you to know that. So the person who is feeling the emptiness or the water going down or whatever, you still have a responsibility to be kind and gracious in how you communicate your needs, because we're talking about communicating needs. Yeah. And we're wrapping up this session fast tonight. So one more thing I wanna layer onto that is we talked about the verbal, because he talked about his bids for connection tend to be more verbal, and I think that tends to be it for a lot of men. Not necessarily a rule. Don't take my word and run with it. Right? Everybody's different. For another person, like the other party, like me, right? My bids tend to be more nonverbal, right? And they tend to frustrate men. Sometimes you hear them say things like, well, just tell me what you want. Just tell me what you need. But like I mentioned before, sometimes people, you're careful with your bids because it requires a level of vulnerability to say, like I need your attention. So what about when there are nonverbal bids? And nonverbal bids can look like things very simple, like a deep sigh when the person comes into the room, or turning your back on them when they, come into bed, or roll your eyes, or just these little things, that the person, if they're not paying attention to it, they're gonna miss it.
Yeah, and they probably would miss it.
And they
I probably miss it.
Well, and that's what the danger of overwork and being tired is, that it affects your ability to be attuned with your partner.
Yes, that's true.
And ladies do like that level of attunement to the point where you could pick up on the little shifts, in the body language and the tone of voice and the little touches. It's not too. It's not a lot, but
yeah.
But it's just these little things that you kind of do to see test the temperature, you know, or do they have the capacity or the attention?
The
Or
removal
the-
of lint.
or
Remember?
the
Yeah.
removal of lint is the ultimate expression of love.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
somebody so in tune to see the little white thing on your
Yeah,
chest.
it's interesting they brought that up. Yeah,
That is,
yeah.
That is like where like you is where like you should aim. I
Mhm.
think the reason I was able to say that, right? I think I saw that somewhere in a
That was
movie, right?
Yeah, it was a movie.
It was in a movie, right? And I say, but you know, like that make real sense.
Mhm.
If a man, right, being a man, could see the lint on a woman's clothes to take it off, right? That man had to be well in tune with this woman,
Mm. Mm.
right?
And for
Because-
the woman to see the pimple on his face to bust it.
Oh my. Anyways. Well, yeah, we had to wrap up just now, right? We have some guests coming in just now in the studio. But yeah, that kind of attunement,
Mhm.
right, would help you to really recognize these non-verbal bits as a man who's there thinking like, yo, what is this guy talking about?
Mhm.
Right? And how could I improve myself in recognizing these bids?
Yeah.
Right? I think about that piece of lint. If you could recognize that she have a piece of lint on her clothes, you probably might recognize that she just rolls her eyes. Or she she just give that little that little shrug that, you know, just not like the normal thing.
Mhm.
And you could pry a little more because
Mm.
you recognize it. Oftentimes, you know, it's easy for men, like, yo, we overlook it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's going on here? Let me hear this one.
Wait now, am I the only woman who not a pimple buster?
Well, doesn't have enough pimples for she's the boss. So like she forget for a while too, eh? When you just meet, she bust up her pimple, eh? Yeah. But I mean, I get my self-care on better now, you know. Wash my
Yes, you're
face
taking
nice
better
and
care of yourself.
wash my face more and thing. I use some ashy products too, eh?
That's part of the solution.
You know, so I have less pimples now. Back in the days, man, just soapy face and rinse it out.
Mm.
Yeah, now I just put on little products and go to like a night routine, you know. Other people, you know, we had to shut up. I think, yeah, shut down just now, you know. The guests and them coming. Yeah. But that's how it is, you know.
Yeah.
You go through seasons, yeah. You get more attentive to
Mhm.
to the finer things.
Yeah.
You know,
Important.
you realize that, hey, yo, this is important. And all of this too is part of this whole love tank
Mm.
as well. You know, a big part of love of expressing love in especially in relationships, especially in marriages, shared experiences. Like I only start this night routine thing really, right? Because she'll go to she night routine and I just they lie down waiting to see when she come in. So I was like, you know what, the mirror big enough. So we go and join her, like at least I have less pimples because I was saying you must wash your face and put on this and this and that and that. So I was like, okay. So I started to go through to that. And it's a shared experience, you know.
Yeah. And all of those
before
are
You go to
are
go to bed.
connections, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah. All of those are opportunities to connect.
Yeah.
And it shows the other person that you're paying attention and
Mm-hmm.
you're not just saying, that woman thing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where the turning against sometimes comes from. It's one thing to not notice,
Mm-hmm.
but it's another thing to kind of talk down at things that you notice. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh gosh, like that again. How much money you're spending on products? Right? It's a turning against.
Yeah.
Not saying that that's a conversation we ever.
No, well, the thing about it, I go bust some of my own files here.
Oh boy.
Is that
Careful now.
man, I decided that for her birthday last year, I give her a package, right? A lot of these beauty products.
Mhm.
When I see how much money I spend, but I say, but I'll take that. These things better work, sir. I get some samples. Lady walk me to her. She give me some samples too. She say, you try it too. So I try it and I find it working. So I continue. Yeah, but you know,
Yeah.
that's what it is. So, yeah, let's wrap up.
So, yeah. Yeah, maybe maybe that conversation has to continue.
Yeah.
We'll see. So guys, I hope this was helpful for you guys. We did say that this was a different way of doing it today, where we kind of just brought the conversation real, live. You're seeing us processing our thoughts, and so we thank you for those of you who hung on with us. Mommy Tammy, big up yourself.
Yeah.
And just pay attention to the people around you, and learn what makes them feel loved and connected to you, and see how your relationships flourish.
Yeah. So it's crucial conversations with the Wilkinsons. Keeping it righteous. Listen, have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your night and your weekend. Blessings.
Cause yeah, I've been through a lot, but still your love protect me from